The place of universities in society is traditionally extremely important, a central knowledge institution, but it's under pressure nowadays. Under pressure from political forces, economic forces, social forces. So the university is actually looking for a new place in society, or at least a new understanding of its place in society. So the third mission refers to partnerships between university and society that don't directly fit the basic mission of education and the basic mission of research. We've seen very interesting examples of third mission in other countries like Canada, where we looked at Ontario, where there's a long tradition of universities developing close relationship with their immediate society, also civil society, not just industry. Britain, there's also a very long tradition with civil mission programs. What is interesting, though, that the countries where the third mission seem to have been developed furthest, the negative attitudes of parts of society to universities seem to be largest. So it's not so that through third mission activities until now, universities have become better understood or found a new place in society yet. Well, first of all, there is much more interest in society on what the impact of university activities, including the traditional research and education activities, is on society. And universities also have to account much more for the use of public money. So there was traditionally a trust. Society gives or invests money in the universities produce outcomes that are relevant for society, but it's become much more evidence-oriented. So the universities have to produce evidence that the investment of society in them lead to the outcomes that society wants. So in that pressure, there's also a growing kind of negative attitude towards universities in part of society, where gender studies, European studies now in Britain, or even the whole autonomy of universities questioned. So there's lots of questions from society that the universities now face, and they don't have necessarily a convincing answer to all of these questions. First of all, have a much clearer profile when it comes to what are the areas where we want to contribute to society. It can be around inequality, around environment, climate change, security, but there are many issues that are really seen as wicked problems in society, where society is struggling to handle these issues. So universities should develop a profile to indicate, okay, these, based on our expertise, our knowledge foundation, these are the areas where we really want to build partnership with society in order for society to better able to deal with these problems. Inequality, in my view, is as important and as threatening an issue to societies as is, for example, climate change. And the growing inequality is, to some extent, also addressed to the role of universities by creating new opportunities for certain individuals in society and by not including others. So what universities could do, as also addressed at this forum here, is to reach out much more to deprived communities that are excluded or at least feel excluded. And I think social media, but also even Netflix maybe, or these kind of, and YouTube, can become important communication channels for addressing the emotions. There are also part of the inequality, because there's much, let's say, unhappiness in society about the fact that we have haves and have-nots, and that the universities contribute to certain people having a chance to improve and develop, while others are not getting these chances. So I think understanding what reaching out means and how parts of society that are excluded can be included, instead of focusing on providing opportunities for certain individuals. I think that's one of the ways to do that. In the whole debate about the place of universities in society, the voice of university is hardly heard. And it's because the universities, to some extent, take as a starting point that their traditional role in education and research is so important for society, they take it for granted that society will continue to fund them and support them, etc. That situation, I think, is changing, so universities have to plead much more for their role in society, and that means that they have to develop this voice. The forum, the GUC forum, can really contribute to that by producing not only a voice, by also making sure that this voice becomes meaningful, by providing certain options on the issues that universities are expected to deal with, but aren't necessarily dealing with in all satisfying ways at the moment.